Hey, what's up YouTube, ZSB Vids here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Victorinox Farmer and testing every single tool on it, so stay tuned. Alright, so the Victorinox Farmer, it is a very outdoorsy multi-tool made from Victorinox, the Swiss Army knife. Everyone should know what it is. And it has 5 tools. 6 tools if you count the lanyard ring, but that's not really a tool, but they count it as one on Victorinox's website. So you have the awl or reamer. This one's called a reamer because an awl is used for sewing, and this just punches holes in things. That's what a reamer does. There's the flathead screwdriver. There is the bottle opener, and there's a wire stripper there. And then over here we have the can opener, and then a small flathead screwdriver or a Phillips head. There's the saw, and then the blade. So one thing I do want to point out is the blade. So the blade is considerably larger than any other blade I've seen on any other Victorinox. It's just a lot, I got lint there, it's just, it's very, very thick compared to something like a blade on like the Huntsman or the Tinker or something like that, or the Deluxe Tinker. It's very thick steel, and then the belly is a lot larger, and it's actually just a little bit, it's a little bit longer than other blades too. Everything else is pretty much, you know, same standard for Victorinox knives. Alright, so the first tool we're actually going to test is the knife. So first let's just do a standard paper test, because that's what everybody likes to see when it comes to the sharpness of a knife. Alright, so we have a standard piece of printer paper. Jeez, that was bad. Alright, and then just another sharpness test. We're just going to cut a bottle. This is actually a pretty thick water bottle. So, no problem, super sharp. Alright, and then one thing I do want to test is, the carving capabilities, if it's able to carve wood. Here I just have a wooden dowel. I think it's just made from like oak or something. So actually took a pretty big chunk out right there. And this wood is actually really hard to carve. Like, I'm putting a lot of pressure on it. The Victorinox is handling it good though. So there you go. And one good thing about Victorinox is it keeps an edge very well, or their steel keeps an edge very well, and they're also really easy to sharpen. So that's a huge plus when you buy a Victorinox knife, is they're really easy to sharpen after you dull the blade out. But pretty easy. Goes right through it. Alright, so the next tool I want to test is the saw. Standard saw, just like any one you would get on a Swiss Army knife. This one's not longer or anything, but it is, it does work very well, as all the saws do. The teeth are double-edged, so it cuts through wood twice as fast, and it's actually a little bit longer than something you get on like a Leatherman, and it works really well. So we're going to use that same little rod we just used and try to cut through that, because that's about the standard size. It's about the standard, unless like a standard size piece of wood you would cut to make a fire or something, or used to make a weapon or something, something like that. So let's go ahead and cut that. Alright, and went right through it. That was really annoying because there's like a bunch of moss on this retaining wall, so it was like sliding. But yeah, so it diced right through it. Perfect. It's in perfect condition. Just got to get all these. Well, it's hot. Yeah, but there you go. There's a little test of the saw. Alright, so the next tool I want to test out is the Reamer. Now, Reamer is used for punching holes in things. For example, you can just kind of poke a hole or something, or dig a hole in some wood or something like that. That's what a lot of people use it for, and stuff like that. Because there's this there's a technique to starting a fire where you kind of dig a groove in a piece of wood, and then you take a piece of wood and you kind of make a little fire. But that's not what a lot of people use it for. They use it for punching holes in things. So here I have a little fabric pad, and we're going to see how easy it is to poke a hole through it. Oh yeah, it goes right through it because it's partially serrated, so it goes right through it and cuts right through the fabric. So there you go. There's a look at the Reamer. You can punch holes through leather and other stuff like that. Most people, that's what most people use it for. It's also really good for striking a ferro rod. So for example, let's say this piece of wood was the ferro rod. You would strike it against the ferro rod, and supposedly it makes really, really good sparks. So that's a plus with that. Alright, so the last tools I want to test are the bottle opener and then the can opener over here. But I don't really think I need to test the flathead screwdriver because everyone knows how that works. So, but we are going to test the bottle opener. So this is just a bottle of Martinelli's that has not been opened yet. So we're just going to. Perfect. Probably the best bottle opener I've ever used. That was super easy. Alright, and then we got the can opener here. So we're just gonna start and work our way around. I'm not the best at opening cans, so that is that, just to get that out of the way, because I usually use a can opener. I'm not really a survivalist type of guy, but if all else fails, this would work. I'm probably using this wrong, just so you guys know. There you go. Your can is open and you are ready to eat. So can opener works great, but I suck at using them. And another cool thing about this knife, since it has the ALOX scales and not the plastic ones, it can actually get wet and not affect anything under it. And it's all stainless steel, so nothing's going to get rusted. So you can clean this thing frequently, take all the tools out, give it a clean, and it is back to pristine condition. There you go. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the little review of the Victorinox Farmer. It's a great knife. It's a knife that I'm not afraid to really work with. And I'm not afraid I'm going to break it because it's very structurally sound and it's a very tough knife. So this is definitely something you could throw in a bag and not have to worry about never having something on you. Obviously you wouldn't take this as your only form of everything. You obviously have to take a separate saw and like a fixed blade knife, like a bushcraft knife. But this thing is great and can be used for many things, like starting fires and preparing a meal, cutting little twigs for tinder, other stuff like that. So it's a great knife and definitely something good to put in a survival bag. But yep, that's gonna do it for me guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. ZAKBARRYPRODUCTIONS signing out. Peace.